Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video. All right, y'all. I did a live stream last night talking about this on my way to work, but I just wanted to go back and actually do a discussion video here because I was on the move. So I just want to, give you my thoughts as a whole on Rose Namajunas and what Dana White said as far as her ducking the title fight with strawweight champion Weili Zhang. A few things I just want to talk about real quick in this video. Of course, I know a lot of y'all already heard about what he said, but on my channel, I just want to bring that up. So I want to pull this post up, the infamous Dana White quote here where he said, what I'm hearing is Rose does not want a title shot. Rose does not want to fight for the title. So we're looking at the rankings and how it plays out. It would play out as Weili versus Carla Esparza. So that was one of the first things that Dana White said, that kind of set everybody off to make people say, oh, Rose is ducking. But Rose Namajunas, her coach / fiance, Pat Barry, he responded back to that. And what he said was, that is absolutely not true. We absolutely want the title fight. Who would turn down a title fight? We just don't want to air this out publicly. If there was some confusion, they can call us to clear it up. So, you guys already know my thoughts on this. Like I said last night on my live stream, I said, I don't believe Rose is ducking. You can't call everybody a duck just because they have certain situations going on in life, which is something I'll get to in a minute. But first addressing Dana White, and when he says something like this, like the first thing that pops in my mind is this is a man who's running a entertainment company, not just, a company that promotes martial arts or mixed martial arts or whatever you want to call it. The way Dana White promotes the UFC, it's not like, just this dojo where everybody comes to show everybody respect. They bow, they go fight, and then they leave at the end of the day. No, it's not like that. This is more like the WWE. So he's got to put some type of narrative where it's going to build up one fighter and make one fighter look like they're shaking in their boots, no matter who it is. He could say they're his favorite today, but the next day they could be on his, on his crap list. So somebody like Rose Namajunas, always been good to the company, always, came through, won the belt. Of course, she lost it. She came back, fought Jessica Andrade. She's had her ups and downs here and there, as far as her wanting to stay in the game or not. There's always been that kind of question mark over. But when you look at her resume, she's never been a duck. So whenever Dana White goes out of his way to say Rose Namajunas doesn't want this title fight, I think there's more to it. Because first off, I know I made a video, or I posted this on my Instagram maybe back in October or November, where Dana White reported that the fight between Rose and Weili was reportedly in the works for December. And that was the last we ever heard. We never heard Rose or Weili speak out that the fight was being close to being finalized. So while that was going on, Rose had also spoke on having a family meal, dealing with a family member, that was dealing with the COVID during this pandemic. She spoke out about that a few months ago. And most recently, she just posted on her IG the situation with that. But in between that time, I'm sure that she told Dana White what was going on there. He probably wanted to fight in December. And, she probably said, look, I'm dealing with some things. I got some pressures going on in life. And of course, he was probably like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll, keep doing what you do. And then he turns his back and say, oh, Rose don't want to fight. She ducking the fight. He'll change the whole narrative and just promote it a certain way to make a bigger, like, entertainment type story. Again, like I said, to make the champion look even more dominant at the same time, make people feel some sort of way about another fighter. It's never just going to be right down the middle. So I don't really take to what Dana Hart said as far as Rose Namajunas saying no to the fight. Now, there could be another side to it where maybe she felt like the money wasn't right. I could see that too. Maybe she said, hey, we need to wait till next year, see how this looks, see how this pandemic plays out, and maybe like January, February, we can go back to negotiate. Now that's a possibility. And maybe again, he said, okay, that's fine. But then after that, he went behind her back and did this interview and said, oh, she's ducking, she don't want to fight. So, there's always a situation that kind of makes him look bad because, again, Dana White's track record when it comes to talking about fighters, it never holds truth to it. Because what he said last time about Amanda Nunes, when Amanda Nunes had pulled out of the Valentina fight, he was like, oh, she's never going to headline again. You know, she's never going to fight a pay-per-view again. She's never going to be a main event again. You know, he'll talk trash about John Jones. And then after that, next thing you know, they're making him money. He'll talk trash about Conor McGregor. Next thing you know, they'll be doing their thing again. So I think the same situation here is with Rose. He's saying, oh, Rose is ducking because she didn't say yes right then and there like he wanted it to. And, you know, she probably told him that, look, we got to come back to this, revisit this, because, again, she spoke out about this before, that she was dealing with a family member. And now, like I said last night, if y'all looked at her IG, she recently lost a family member, you know. And like Pat Barry said, he didn't want to put this out there. You know, he didn't want to really speak on it publicly, but she did last night. You know, she put it on her IG that she had lost her grandfather, you know. And I had pulled it up last night. You know, I read it to y'all, what she said, you know, former wrestling champion, you know, she loved her grandfather. She was really close to him and she lost him. So that lets you know that throughout that time, that's probably what she was dealing with, you know. And Rose, she's a very emotional person, you know, and that's the type of person she is whenever she's dealing with somebody close to her. When she's dealing with one thing, she really likes to focus on one thing, from what I see, especially when you're dealing with, you know, family over the fight game. Family comes first, right? Depending on how close the family member is. Of course, in this, it's very, very close to her. So I definitely understand the fact why she maybe said, yo, we got to put this on hold for a while. On hold. No, she didn't say, no, I don't want to fight. Because even Pat Barry said it. They're probably still trying to figure things out and get through this death in the family. So, yeah, she had to go to that extent now and post it out. Like he said, he didn't want to put it out there publicly himself yet, but she had to, because, you know, Dana White was coming back with this type of statement, and a lot of heat's been going in on her. So all in all, like I said, I don't think she's ducking. Never seen her duck a fight before. I know people will say, oh, she ducked the Weili fight when she was offered the title fight on her comeback. But again, why would you go in there and fight the champion after you came off a horrible loss to Jessica Andrade? That don't make any sense. If you asked me if she deserved the title shot at the time, I would have said, hell no, she don't deserve the title shot at the time, because she just came off a horrific loss to Jessica Andrade. So there's no need to put her in there with her. Now, she did the right thing for herself. She went and got some get back against Jessica Andrade in the rematch. Whether or not she had the title, that fight made more sense. 3 rounds, 5 rounds or not, that fight made sense. So she did the right thing to say, I'll fight Jessica Andrade. You know, I fought Jessica Andrade once, lost. I'll come back and fight her again. I'll turn down the title shot for now. So again, that's not a duck. You can't say that's a duck. You need to get your ducks in a row and say, okay, look, I want to go in here and get some get back against the opponent that beat me. That makes sense, right? Because what kind of mind state would she have been in if she's coming off a devastating loss, then you go back in there and fight for the championship belt again? A lot of people even would have said, you don't deserve that. They would have said, oh, why are you giving her a title shot? She's coming off a knockout loss. She never even was able to right the wrong, you know? So many things. A lot of people are trying to point that, like, this is a duck, but I don't see her ducking it anyway. This is another video segment I might have to talk about in the future, of course, like what makes a duck. I mean, I've been watching fights for so long, you know, I don't give away my age, but I'm over 30 years, you know what I mean? And I've seen fighters duck. I've seen when fighters kind of avoid the questions. You know, we see it in boxing all the time. You know, there's a fighter I'm thinking of in particular right now who, you know, gave up his chance against one of the best pound for pound welterweights in the world right now, you know? And sometimes I'll be like, oh, I can see why they did duck that person. Maybe they ain't ready for that type of force that's coming at them. But I don't see Rose Namajunas being that type of fighter to say, oh, I don't want to fight Weili. You know, Weili, I'm scared of her. You know, she's not that type of fighter. I mean, look, she's suffered L's before. She's been beat down before. She's came back. She's fought the best. She's beat the best. You know, so why would she duck Weili now? I think she would full on retire and just say she was done with the sport before she just says, oh, I'm ducking her. You know, I think it would be that type of thing where her own mindset, it would be her own decision, not some other fighter that's going to run her out of the sport. You know what I mean? It would actually have to be her own decision, something she talks over with her fiance and just say, you know, I'm done with fight. You know, it'd have to be that type of situation. So yeah, man, Dana White, I don't believe that statement. You know, she probably just told him that, look, we got to put this off. I'm dealing with the death in the family, or it could be some financial as well. You know, that's how I feel about that. Because again, Dana White's track record on statements, you just can't really buy into that. And on Rose ducking, no, I don't believe that. Family comes first, especially if it's a close member of your family. You got to tell the business side to just keep quiet, because outside influences do influence what goes on in the octagon. You know what I mean? Like, you go straight in there after death in the family, it could actually be a good thing sometimes, not to be dark, but it could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. I mean, look at Buster Douglas after he lost his mom. I mean, he went in there, fought the most feared man in boxing at the time, and pulled off the biggest upset in history, you know, in boxing history. So, I mean, it could do that. But some people, they might just need to take the time away. And for Rose, just let her deal with this thing, and she'll probably come back stronger. And, you know, like first quarter of 2021, and this fight will happen. But until then, I know Dana's pushing for this Weili versus Carla. My thoughts on that fight, I'll probably talk about that in another video. But right off top, I don't mind it. I don't hate Carla. You know, I respect Carla as a fighter. I think she's gotten better. And until Rose, you know, gets everything situated with dealing with the family, I think this will be a good fight. I think it'll still be a good fight. I mean, it won't be the Weili versus Rose fight, but it still would be a good fight, I think. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to come back and do this little discussion with y'all and give you my full-on thoughts, because I was kind of busy yesterday. I was just giving y'all my thoughts on the road. But yeah, Rose is not ducking, and I'll probably talk about this some more on the live stream tonight. But what really makes a duck, in your opinion? What makes a duck? I mean, there's so much to it before you can just call a fighter a duck, man. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.